Silver's on the scene. It is Sunday, October 6th. Sunday, October 6th. Hope everyone's weekend's been fantastic. Hope you're getting ready and looking forward to starting your week tomorrow. Let's jump right into it. We've got a lot to discuss. Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian Rogers, gone from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, 223 days now. Tomorrow will be 7.5 months. Tonight, 6:30 till tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m., he vanished from his home, Hendersonville, Tennessee. We are looking for Sebastian. We are looking for him, and the question we have is, where is Sebastian Rogers? Where is Sebastian Rogers? So what I want to discuss tonight in this video is basically what happened this past week. Searching in Southaven is basically what I'll call it. We're going to talk about a burial that was found. Is it a pet? More job site information coming, and speaking with others soon. So let's jump right into it and talk about it. So on the job site information, I was able to speak to someone who I've spoken to before. Let's get this off of here. Okay. Someone I'd spoken to before here at the job site, right? We learned a lot about that, right? That basically a lot of the things that Chris Proudfoot is telling us, allegedly, let me stop right there, allegedly, in our opinion, my opinion, person I'm speaking with, allegedly in our opinion, we believe the things that Chris Proudfoot is telling us are just untruths, right? They're not adding up. They're not making sense. They're not going together. So I spoke to the person again, mainly because of this reason, just to discuss the video. They had seen the video. And, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you this. When you speak to people like this, because I urge everyone to go out and ask questions. We talk about how are we going to find Sebastian? Well, we're going to put these flyers out, right? We're going to post these everywhere. We're going to send them electronically, post them electronically, hand them to people in public places. And I'm telling you right now, I can't tell what people are going to do when I leave the establishment. But I've had no one not want the flyer, meaning that I hand someone the flyer, they go, wow, I didn't know, or I did know, and we go from there. And, I can't make them put it up at their place of business, but at least it's out there, okay? So hand those flyers out, post those flyers electronically, send them to your friends and family through email. We can do that. We can also ask questions, okay? So we can ask questions, and that's where it leads me to where we are here when we're talking about this job site. We're talking about more job site information. So when you're speaking to individuals, such as I did with this individual, there's no need to share their name, okay? It's there's no need into it. This video, all of our videos on YouTube, we are allegedly, in our opinions, we do our own research. I think the power and the magic of YouTube is if A, B, C, D, E, F, 10 different people do their own research, then we can get a few of those that are the same. But then we may have 4 or 5 different theories, different ways of going about trying to find Sebastian Rogers, okay? So, and another thing I want to urge 2 things. One, if you speak to someone, whomever that may be, just don't reveal their identity. Some people get caught up in the comments. Some people will say, well, how do we know Silvers is telling us the truth? He won't mention the name. I'm not going to mention the name. That's the bottom line. I'm not going to break trust with someone who could eventually share something that could help break open this case and lead us directly to where Sebastian is. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. And in not doing so, when you get the phone call from the person, you don't have to worry about anything. Okay? You don't have to worry about anything. Okay? You just don't. So you can believe my sources or not believe my sources. Everyone has their opinion on that. But I'm telling you, I don't waste my time. Okay? There's not a lot of time to waste here trying to find Sebastian. So when tips are offered up, or I find myself in a situation where I can ask somebody questions, I'm going to ask them questions. So back to more job site information, right? So, a couple of things that were discussed. Nothing really stood out other than, I guess the biggest thing was the person didn't have any problem with my video. My account was accurate from what we had discussed. I had a few other questions, such as, when a crane operator is up in the crane, could they possibly be on their cell phone? And personally, I didn't think they could. I didn't think that. I thought that might be a distraction, but I was wrong. I was wrong. They can absolutely have their cell phone in the crane with them. Along with that, they've got some radios for the work, thing, but they can have their phone. So, could Chris have called Katie from the crane? Absolutely, he could. Absolutely could. But that leads me to the next thing. Just in talking, and you know, the person I'm speaking with, first time they saw Chris was 6:30. We talked about him being on the job site at 6:30. He could have been there earlier. Wouldn't have been anything for him to do, really. But from what I understand, you could be there earlier, okay? But was seen by the person I'm speaking with at 6:30. Now, here's the thing that stood out to me with that. Allegedly, in my opinion, I thought there was a phone call from Katie to Chris at 6:30. I thought they were on the phone as she was searching for Sebastian early that morning. I thought, of course, then he did the three-way call to the sheriff's department. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, if you said you're on the phone with her, from my account, what I can remember, I'm in the crane already, and I got her in one ear and everything going on from work in the other ear. But if you're on the ground at 6:30, how were you on the phone? And maybe that's just a few minutes off, right? Maybe he was on the phone before he climbed up to the crane, or he was on the phone once he got into the crane, and a few minutes here nor there. But I thought it was strange. But yeah, you can't have the phone in there, so that kind of knocked that out, because honestly, I first wanted to admit when I'm wrong, and I just thought making that whole thing up, because why would you have that distraction there? And I guess sometimes they'll speak to each other through phone versus radio or whatever they do when they work there. But yeah, so there was that. Back to just the character, allegedly, in our opinion, what kind of person, just as we said before, just untrustworthy. And I don't think that shocks anyone. And I don't think we're speaking anything out of school, even if we say allegedly, in our opinion and our beliefs, because, you listen to someone's interview, they're out there, go find them, do your own research, and you'll see how untrustworthy CP, Chris Proudfoot, is. Sebastian's stepdad, right? So that was it for the more job site information. It was, I guess it was reassuring to me just to know that, hey, whether I speak about our conversation again through a recap video where I discuss some things we're discussing now, no, maybe one day I'll be a journalist. I'm not an official journalist. I'm a YouTube podcaster, if you will. And I'm searching for this missing boy, Sebastian Rogers. But asking questions, you have to find information, but there is no need to reveal your source. The only person to reveal the source to would be law enforcement. Okay? So, I'm trying to think. There is one other question I wanted to ask, and I totally flaked on it, so I may make a phone call and ask that question. I can give an update on that. But for the most part, there wasn't really anything big that stood out, other than, I got more of a vision of how that morning went, and when Chris was first seen, and it just made me ask the question, well, was he literally standing there with the other people while he was on the phone with her, or was that call made at 6:25 or maybe 6:40? But the biggest thing here, right, that we take away is, and I reiterated this, what kind of person and for what reason? We should all be asking this question. Once Chris is aware that his stepson Sebastian Rogers is missing from the home, And as I put in the video, his wife is a mess, right? Any mother would be. Tell me, people, why he got back on, why he climbed up to that crane and continued working, or if he was already in it, continue working. Why did he not stop, crawl down, say, I need to leave, my stepson's missing, I'm out of here? And he could have been home before he actually left the job site. If that's not suspicious to anyone, I don't know what could be. So, there's that. Speaking with others, I'm going to skip this one. We're going to save this one for last because I have some questions here and I want people to see what their thoughts are and where we're going to go with it, right? Speaking with others. So I have a lead. I have a tip to where I'm going to be able to speak to others. When I mean others, one particular person, and that's going to lead me back to here. Okay? So someone's reached out. We're going to talk shortly, and we're going to find out, hopefully, more information, okay, as to stepdad Chris Proudfoot. And all this information is to help us find Sebastian Rogers, because that's the question. Where is he? Okay? So as we go through and we say his name, as we go through and we keep the awareness alive, in order to find him, we need to know where he is. In order to know where we should look, we need to ask questions. Okay? So, speaking with others, I should be able to speak with them tomorrow and hopefully have an update for you in within 24 hours or so. Okay? So, that is coming. That is coming. The more we talk, the more we ask questions, the more people trust to tell us things, then we learn more about people who could be involved with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Now, let's jump to burial found. So, I'm not sure how long you may have watched the previous video, or if you're new and haven't seen that previous video, go to 32 minutes and 19 seconds. So if you didn't make it that far, at 32 minutes and 19 seconds, I found something. Now, stopping there, why was I here? Okay, so what we're looking at here, I hope my pointer is big enough. I didn't make a bigger pointer, so let me do that right now. Let me just make a bigger pointer. 1 second here. Not there. Let's do this. And let's do this. This. All right, let's make the pointer larger. Okay, how about that? So, this area here, this is in Southaven, Mississippi. Okay? Southaven, Mississippi. Why was I in Southaven? I was searching Southaven last week because of a tip that, as I said in the video, possibly Sebastian could still be with us. So I followed up on that, cleared concrete pipe. He wasn't in it. But what it led me to is saying, hey, follow this with me for a minute. If Sebastian was out here and he was trying to survive, and he found an adult who was also out here trying to survive, i.e. homeless person, I had been told that in this area, homeless people camp out. So you see these trees, it's like trees, like what I call clumps of trees. So within these clumps of trees, you can't see in there. You know, as you walk up, and this is a pretty good distance back, but this is basically from the road. Okay, there's a road that drives right by it. You can't see in these trees. And that's where I saw a lot of the homeless camps. But I was thinking, you know, if Sebastian 7.5 months ago, 223 days ago, was able to, for whatever reason, get away, and you know, and it got me thinking too that maybe even if this didn't happen in Southaven, did it happen in Hendersonville, right? Just keep thinking of things so we can find Sebastian Rogers. And so I went to this area, and I started going through all these trees. Now, I believe I went straight back and went back this way because there's another, so this is an opening and my photo is not showing this, but over on this side, right over here, there's another opening like this, okay? And so I walked through here and I came around, I checked all of this, right? And so when I was done, I went into here, okay? And let's just see what happened when I went in there.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm gonna feel better about all this though after coming through here, because Horn Lake, Southaven, the Memphis area,
Now, ladies and gentlemen, did you notice a couple of things? I want to point out a couple of things. I get completely quiet. I say at one point, I believe, as I'm going to continue this video, this is at the 32-minute. Well, actually, where we're at now is about the 32 minutes, so 19 seconds. I mentioned earlier, so maybe around 31 and a half, 32 minutes when I come in here. But a couple of things I want to mention as I'm here. Number one, you saw how quiet I got. So I think I had said somewhere later that I saw the gray, and I thought I did, but I'm watching the video again, and you can't see in there. And once again, I'm in here now, and so that picture I just showed, we'll go back to it right here. This photo I just showed, I'm in here. So if you're driving by, or if you're standing where I am now in the grass, you would not be able to see me. Okay, so remember that. So I'm here. Second thing I want to bring up, okay, is right here. See this fence? See this fence? On the other side is our apartments. It's an apartment complex. And just note the distance. We're going to discuss that in a minute. Somehow I lost the audio to that. I don't know how that happened. Let's try this again. Okay.
after coming through here.
Oh, come in here. There we go. Hear how quiet I am.
Oh gosh. Okay. Take a look. I came in here because I saw these. I didn't know they were rocks, but I came in here because I saw something. And look, ladies and gentlemen, go back and watch. I got really quiet. Let me take a deep breath. I got really quiet. And then I see this. I'm not gonna step. Could that have been Sebastian? Would that be something that would freak me out? As you can see, oh wow, a pet. It's a big grave for a pet. I'm gonna go back.
So I took some photos of that.
that.
I took some photos of that, and we'll go back. We'll just stop right here. I want to show a couple of things. Okay, we're going to take this here. Okay. And then I want to look at this. All right. So a couple of things. Needless to say, I was shocked. I mean, I'm out here and I'm actually highlighting the fact that for the first time, if you watch the video, I'm actually yelling out Sebastian's name, not only in the concrete pipe, but when I'm walking around here, because I'm walking. You know, there's a purpose every time you go searching, okay? And you don't have to have a purpose. Just go walking. Just go walking and looking. I mean, you know, with no purpose, who knows what you'll find. But I try to have a purpose simply because my time is limited, right? We all know my story, and I unfortunately can't do this full time. I can do it as much as I can. And this particular day, I was able to readjust my schedule to make way for it. But so I make sure when I step out, boots on the ground, that there's a purpose there, right? There's always a purpose finding Sebastian, but I mean a logical thought process of why I'm in the area. When I shared this with someone who helps me from time to time, the first question was, what were you doing there, right? Well, I was there because I knew homeless camps were there. At least I've been told. I verified that. So I'm looking for him possibly there in the woods trying to survive. And I come across this. And so it really took me back. And, if you look, we'll come over here and look. I mean, it's a pretty big grave. It doesn't even, to me, look as big as it was when I was standing in front of it. So let's talk about a few things, right? As we looked at the topic here, of this video, we say burial found. No doubt it's a burial. Pet is the question mark. So, in my opinion, it would be a big pet. But I really wanted to highlight is here. Okay, so what did I do? Okay, so I was there, and as you can see in the video, I pick up this right here. I don't pick it up, excuse me. I wipe some leaves off. I didn't want to touch anything. I walk around the grave, whether it's a pet or could it be a human. Allegedly, in my opinion, even if it was Sebastian, whomever it may be, I'm walking around it. I'm not built like that, right? To just walk on a grave of anyone or anything. But I walked over, I dusted off these leaves. It says, no longer by my side, but forever in my heart. And of course, the first thing you see is the paw print. So without even reading anything, you see the paw print. An immediate thought is this is a pet. More than likely, a dog. I love dogs. I have a dog. Silver's 2 and we have a dog. We love her. Her name's Molly. And so you go, well, it's a dog, and I think you can hear in the video how I take a breath. And I'm kind of feeling good that it didn't say Sebastian, right? Or it had this paw print, things like that. So then I back up and I look at it, but like I say, it's so big, and so that made me think, this thing is so big. How look at this? How big was the dog, right? So I walk away and I finish checking the area across the street, even, and then I go into the business where I'd met the very nice women there, and I had taken photos. I show them this photo, I show them this photo, and when it was all said and done, you see this fence we were talking about? There are apartments there. So these apartments are the closest people outside of the homeless people where there were none living there. But this fence are the closest people on the other side of this fence to this grave. And ultimately, we decided that someone living in these apartments had a dog that passed, and they came through this fence and they buried their dog here. And that made sense to me. I say it in my video. It made sense. No longer by my side, but forever in my heart with a paw print, right? Okay. A pooch, a dog. So I left it at that. I went on about my business. Since then, I've been just thinking more and more about the encounter, thinking that maybe should I have looked on the backside of this. Once again, I don't want to touch or mess in any. I don't want any bad mojo. I'm all in good conscience. Every time I've gone looking for Sebastian, my heart is pure in my process and what I'm doing. So if anyone encounters me, I share a flyer with them. I'm only here to find Sebastian and bring him home. In my opinion, unalive, but he could be alive, so it's all alleged. But in my opinion, I don't think he's with us anymore. And so I find this. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not far at all from the RV. It's just not far at all. Let's go right back to what we were showing here. This is, look. Now, there's a distance to walk to get someone here, but if you were driving by this, okay, even knowing the apartments are over here, would you ever consider there would be anything buried here? A pet? A person? Anything? Why? So that's the question I got thinking. The other thing is this: when I show you this photo here, look at the distance. The distance between that fence and here. So if, let's just say you live in this apartment complex and this is your pet and you came through, there's an opening here to bury him or her. Why not do it right here? Why did you come in these woods? Right? Why is this burial in here where you can't see it? And only you would know. Much like when I found the blanket and other things, there could be hundreds of thousands of reasons, millions of reasons who this is. So what are we doing? So we know what we found. Now the question now is, and that's where you come to the update part. Do you think it's a pet? That's the first questions. Then the next thing is, what are we going to do? Here's what we're going to do. We have determined already, Silver's on the Scene team, if you want to say, we have determined who owns this land. It is a private individual who does not live in the state. Well, let me back up. The address for them to send them information is not in the state. So the question's simple. Let's make a phone call. Well, this is also the speaking to others. Right? We talk about speaking with others. Part of it is more on stepdad, but also speaking with others when we talk about this. My question's simple. Hey, Mr. Owner, I'm looking for Sebastian Rogers. Are you aware, did you bury your pet on that land? The answer is yes. Great. There you go. And we move on. The answer is no, I did not know that was buried, anything was buried on my land. Then we take the next steps, right? Get authorities out there, do it ourselves, whatever we do. But we need to ask questions before we start. I had the shovel with me, and as you see, I did not dig. Did not feel that was appropriate. But I've thought about it since, and we need to check. So this is the part where I say allegedly, in my opinion. This is the part where I've said it throughout this video. This whole video is this. But I really want to state it here. Could someone have placed a person here? Sebastian or not Sebastian? Sometimes when you're looking for someone, you find others. There's a lot of missing people out there that we need to focus on, right? A lot of missing people. That's why we say find them. Keep the awareness alive on all these missing people. But if that's a person and you wanted to create a memorial for them, to hide their body forever, but yet still have a place to come and pay respects, put the paw print on, some words that could mean no longer by my side, meaning my wife, my husband, my son, forever in my heart. Or it could be simply a pet. So what better cover than to put this on there and make it look like a pet? The one thing that stands out to me, and you can give me your opinion in the comments, does either these rocks, okay, do either of these rocks, let's blow them up, do either of these rocks or this heart, you see the rock up close here, pull it down, we'll do this, I don't know what I did there, hold on one second, we'll pull this down, see that rock? These are awful clean, meaning that how long have they been there? Now there's leaves you can see, of course, on it. It looks to me like, if you come back to the video, that the leaves here aren't as much as the leaves around it. So anyway, what I'm trying to get at, there's a lot of questions with this. And in all my searching, as I search for Sebastian, this is probably the one thing by far. First, it was deer bones in his town of Hendersonville, which I've encountered on 2 different searches. And now what is actually a burial. I mean, it's a burial. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out by speaking to the owner. and we're going to find out more about his stepdad speaking with others, and we're gonna piece everything together, okay? And then we're going to move forward. Today is Sunday, October 6th, and this week, Silvers will be back on the scene in Hendersonville, Tennessee. That's right, Hendersonville, searching for Sebastian. Never stop searching. Never stop looking. It's going to lead us to places like this, right? Where we find things like this, and we see things like this, and we come across things like this, right? That's called Silvers on the scene. That's called being out there, boots on the ground, trying to find Sebastian Rogers. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Post. Share flyer. Keep his awareness alive. That is the biggest thing the largest group of us can do. There's been a lot of people send me emails. You would love to come search for me. I know you can't. This is why I do videos. This is why I shared this video again. Go to the last video, 3219. Start watching from there. You get to put your eyes on it from overseas, from another state, thousands of miles away, hundreds of miles away. If you can find a way to get to Hendersonville or to the Southaven area, definitely go out, take a look for Sebastian. But in the meantime, if you can't, say his name, say his name, say his name, share the flyer, share his photo. You know, sometimes you can just post on, I'm going to give you a little tip you can do. Be it Twitter, be it Facebook, be it, if you have an account on YouTube but you've never posted a video, anywhere where you just post a photo. Just post his photo. Just post one of these photos. You don't have to say anything. You could post it and say his name. Someone's going to comment, who is this? And that's where the conversation begins. Okay? As I've told you before, in all my time in the Horn Lake, Southaven, Memphis area, I've handed this flyer to many people. I've talked to many people. Finally, I mentioned in my video, if you didn't catch it, there was one person that had seen this on the news, and he was aware. But he kept the flyer, and he's keeping his eyes open in that area if he sees anything. So, but say his name, post. Let's keep the awareness alive. Sebastian, we're never going to forget you, and we're going to keep looking until we find you. And is that a pet grave? We're going to find out. So, say his name. Here he is, Sebastian Rogers. Let's put him front and center. Let's open this up. $100,000 reward. Simple as calling 833-TELL-DOG. TBI. Email in tips. There's so many ways to share what you know if you know something. See something, say something. All right? I'm going to leave you with this, as I said. Okay? Sebastian, we're never going to forget you. Stay tuned. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your emails, your tips. Together we will find Sebastian, okay? As soon as I find out about this burial, what the owner says, what we're going to do, as soon as I speak to the others, there'll be more to come. So stay tuned, more to come as early as tomorrow. Thank you again. Have a great evening. Get your week started tomorrow on Monday. Get it going good. Remember, Sebastian has been gone as of tomorrow 7.5 months. 223 days today, soon to be 224 days. 7.5 months. Way too long. Let's find Sebastian Rogers. And remember, we're not going to forget him.
Silver's on the scene, silver's on the scene today. Silver's on the scene, silver's on the scene. We will not go away, away, away. We won't forget you, that's a promise. We're digging deep, 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 deep.
We won't forget you. That's a promise. And we're never going away. Say his name. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Thank you. Have a great evening.